Hi, this is Happy Happy Joy Joy with Simple Card Monday. We're in week 3, and this week we are using the new cartridge Winter Wonderland. That's what I'm going to be featuring today. And I have made 2 cards. We're going to start off with this Poinsettia card, and it's really simple to make. There are only 4 cuts and 1 slice of paper, and that is it. And look how beautiful it is. I've used this kind of sparkle paper that I got from Hobby Lobby in a pad. Very simple. Here's what that looks like. I just got it, it's just a photo pad. And it has some great sparkly paper in it. And then the music paper is from Club Scraps Musical Interlude Kit, which is my favorite kit from them. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started cutting out our poinsettia card. First thing we're going to do, notice I've laid out my mat with all my papers. That makes it so fast to cut out my papers. First thing we're going to do is cut out the card at 5 inches. And it's going to be a square card. We know that from looking in the book that the poinsettia card comes out square. The other thing to notice is whenever you cut with the Cricut and you have paper that has words or some kind of pattern and you want it to be cut correctly, you need to make sure that the words face to the left. So for instance, here's this joy stamp. If I want this to work out right, so for instance my musical notes to be correct, I lay it so that the musical notes face that way, or the text would face that way. So just a little hint. That's very helpful. I do know it's a square card because I'm looking right here and I can see my square card, and there's my poinsettia. So I'm going to go ahead, I set my dial to 5 inches. Since this is Club Scrap paper, we're going to set the blade at 6 because that's nice and thick paper. I'm going to set the card feature key and then the poinsettia. And then I press cut. Next I'm going to cut out my poinsettias. I'm going to start with my red poinsettia, and that needs to be, I'm going to take off the card function, shift poinsettia, and that gives me just the flower, which is what I want. Now, if I cut it at 5 inches, it will be too large. I had to test this out with some scrap paper, and I discovered that 4 3/4 is the correct size. I know only down 1/4, but it does make a difference when you go to put the card together. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that at 4 3/4 inches. Next I cut my green part, and I'm going to just cut that at the regular poinsettia because I'm going to layer the red onto there. Same thing, 4 3/4. No shift this time because that's the bottom key. And here we go. My last little bit is to cut the center of the poinsettia, and that is done by pressing the layers key and poinsettia. That'll give me that little center, and I'll be in business. Now I have got all my pieces out, and I'm going to go ahead and score my card at 5 inches because this is a 5-inch card using my score pal. Just go ahead and fold my bone folder. And now the rest of the assembly is super easy. I have these 3 layers and they just fit right on top of each other. Look, presto changeo. And that will all fit on top of this. Just like that. There you go. How simple is that? This is such an easy card. So I'm going to go ahead and sticky these together using some glue dots and also some dimensional adhesives. I like to use dimensionals. They add so much to a project. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple on this poinsettia. And let's make sure you can see that. Not adding too many, but you know, a handful. And all I've got to do is sticky this down, put the top on, sticky it all on, and I'm pretty much done. Now, this might be the trickiest part because I think, how does this all work? Okay, good. And then these line up with this. And then that lines up like that. So sticky that down. Very simple. I'm going to take my ATG. By the way, this is a life-changing item. I bought mine from framingsupplies.com and I love it. It is awesome. It has made scrapping so much better. No more fighting with the adhesive. No more worrying that the adhesive won't stick or that it will mess up. So there you go. Oops, I'm a little off-centered on this one. Okay, and finally I need to sticky this on, and I'm going to get a glue dot for that, and I'll join you back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sticky that on. The very last part of this project is to put a liner behind here. I just cut mine at a little under 5 inches by 5 inches, so you can see it's gold. This paper is from a Martha Stewart paper pack. It's awesome because it's two-sided. No matter what side you got, they're both beautiful. I love this paper pack. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it in there, and I'm done. So basically, we had 4 cuts, and slicey this little paper into a 5 inch by 5, a little bit under 5 inch by 5 inch square. And that was it. How easy is that? There we go. And there's our card. Now, to dress this up some more, you could ink along the edges. You could put a little sentiment here if you had a little small one. You could do some other things like that, but it's kind of pretty just the way it is. All right, we're going to go on to our next card.